Hello, this is being recorded on May 8th, 2016, and I titled it Memories of an Old Man. Maybe you didn't play the same games I did as a child, but you might have. Here's some of them and a brief description of how they were played. Hide and seek was, in some ways, similar to Ring-a-Levio, and in the place where I grew up, we had some wonderful places to hide. You had to hide and then return to the base before the other team could find anyone on your team, or something like that. Then there was Johnny on the Pony, also a team game, where one team lines up with the strongest guy hugging a tree or with his back against the wall. His teammates bend over and make sort of a worm or a snake. A kid from the other team takes a running start and jumps on the worm, hoping to collapse it. It's a rough and tumble game and probably results in a lot of backaches in later life. Girls played jacks and jump rope, two games at which most boys were just terrible. Jacks was where they threw out a handful of star-shaped jacks and then attempted to pick up as many as possible before the bounced ball landed. Jump rope, well, that's pretty self-explanatory, except when you were watching what they called double dutch. That's where two girls hold onto two jump ropes that are extended, and they twirl them in opposite directions while other people jump through them. Very difficult, and I've seen a lot of people trip. We played stickball in the streets, using a broom handle for a bat, a tennis ball for the baseball, and whatever bases were handy. Maybe it was a manhole cover or a parked car fender. It wasn't unusual to have either first or third base just drive away. We pitched pennies, and that was the closest thing we came to actual gambling. You pitched your pennies closest to something, like a crack in the sidewalk, and the one that was closest picked up the pennies. A handball was another actual sport, but nobody that I know actually played it as a sport. It was just a game. A handball is slightly smaller than a tennis ball and very hard. Playing it against the wall for about 15 minutes gave you a hand that was about twice the size that it was when you started. We played pick-up sticks for dexterity. You held a bunch of colored sticks in your hand and let them drop. How they were arranged tested your dexterity because you had to pick one up without disturbing the others. In every game, there was always one black stick, and that counted for the most points. In summertime, we'd go to the roller skating rinks and practice our rubber legs routines, hoping to impress girl skaters, and sometimes we'd actually get a skating partner. The winter found us at outdoor skating rinks practicing the same as on roller skates. Some of us, and I'm in that group, had weak ankles, and we'd find ourselves skating on the sides of our feet. Not just painful, but embarrassing. I suppose that you're wondering what this has to do with you, eh? Well, maybe you can look up from your smartphone, tablet, Kindle, or whatever long enough to read this or watch it. You do actually read, don't you? A book is a wonderful thing. You can put it down and years later pick it up and the information is still there. No batteries, and you don't have to shield it from the light or pay for an app Modern technology is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. But there's a place for old-fashioned fun and games. When was the last time you played Monopoly, or Sorry, or Chinese checkers? Wow, that long, eh? My father helped me learn to read. Even though he only completed the 3rd grade in formal education, he was very smart. Under his guidance, I read all the classics, a lot of the near classics, and many poems of the time. We had double feature movies on Saturday after a morning of either radio or TV adventures, and along with the movies, a cartoon, the news, and a preview of coming attractions. For a quarter, you got into the movies, you got a small popcorn and a small drink, and had the time of your life. Even during the war, and for those of us of a certain age, the war means the Second World War. We had adventurous times. We ran or rode our bikes around neighborhoods looking for things to donate for the war effort. Cans, cooking utensils, even paper, all were important, and we were very patriotic. It was a glorious time to be an American, and we were very, very proud. Even looking back, it still makes me feel good. It has been said that old men talk about the past because they have no future. Young men talk about the future because they have no past. For you, hearing this, you may not have had these same experiences, and maybe you're young and this is sort of ancient history. But believe me, they were and are great memories. And I wish those memories to you forever.